Emergency, emergency, emergency. Hey, if you guys are listening to this episode, it's another emergency episode. As you know, emergency episodes come out when something has happened in one of our lives.
Or not necessarily. Yeah, it could just be we got busy in life.
That's right. Something has happened in our lives.
So to give you a perspective, because we don't know when this episode's going to air, we are recording this episode tomorrow. Will be January 10th, the day that the show that I am in.
January 10th,
Netflix.
2024. By the time this comes out, we could be eating moon deer for all we know.
That's true. I do want a moon deer. So hopefully by now the show was a huge success. Joe and I are both multi-millionaires, and we're just living. And maybe I'm still in the classroom.
We're watching this episode right now, and we're looking back at our peasant studios that we could not be bothered with anymore because we're just so filthy, disgusting, rich. You got me at a good time. I haven't talked to another human today, so I'm on one.
Joe, did you ever feel that thing where like you wake up and like, so it's very rare for me because like the kids, the wife, the family thing. But like, you ever get that like where you wake up, like it happens to me sometimes on the road, very rarely also because I always talk to my kids in the morning, but like where you just haven't spoken to another person and it's like 3-4 o'clock and you're like, oh my God, I don't know if my voice works anymore because you haven't used it yet.
Literally every time I'm on the road, I don't say words to other people until I'm like at the show.
But like when you wake up in the morning, do you call Morgan as soon as you wake up?
No.
Oh.
Do you call Melissa as soon as you wake up?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I also FaceTime.
Well, you have kids.
Yeah, I call and FaceTime the kids. I guess I don't, honestly, I wake up really early. So like, I won't necessarily call her. I'll text her and be like, is everybody up? Like, good morning, is everybody up? It depends. Like if I'm on the West Coast, by the time I wake up, everybody's been up for hours and like they're already at work or school. You know what I mean?
We'll shoot a text and stuff usually.
But what are you like? Hey, you good?
No. Hey, just woke up. Hope you have a good day. Something like that. I have to tell you, like Morgan and I are so independent to the point where people would probably be like, are you guys good? No, we're fine. We just like know how to facilitate our lives on my own. And when we come together, it's amazing. Yeah. But like, we're not up each other's asses all the time. Like, I am fucking doing the show. I'm running a show. I'm like going on this, doing the show. Then I got to schmooze and mingle afterwards. I will say I do typically call him every night when I get back to my hotel, which a lot of the times is he's sleeping already. But I at least like to call him, like let him know like, yo, I got back and I gave you a call. But like first thing in the morning, usually not. Usually it's just a text. But we're very like, we're good.
I text Melissa. I say, hey, show's over. Went well. Doing photos now, talking to the owner now, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll text her like an hour later and be like, just got to the hotel. Good night. Like I never call her because it's always way late for her. You know what I mean? She goes to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock. So
yeah.
Also, this might actually not be an emergency episode because I'm excited about this episode. We might just want to release it soon. So just keep that in mind. We might
release it in 2026. Who knows?
Joe, I am currently like choking a little. So I have a candle next to me.
Well, blow the candle out. That's why you're choking.
I did. So I got these candles yesterday. I went to the mall to buy new clothes. So see, that's why I'm like, oh, this story we might want to talk about. So for those of you at home, I'm apparently not the best dresser. And I've become aware of this from being on TV and in life every day from my
I'm going to let you speak. But before I do, I need to say that Beyonce had the best album of all time. No, listen, Gaspare. You're not a bad dresser. I can name 10 guys who dress worse than you. I'm actually going to type you one right now.
Can't wait.
The way that person dresses is nauseating. But like, look at you and I compared to Gabe. Gabe's ready to walk the goddamn runway every day after he wakes up. And then you and I are over here like, we like trash.
Yeah, but your shirt right now is like, I don't know if I could pull that off.
I don't have style, but I do have more.
He said more than you, for those of you at home who couldn't hear that. So
But that's
the
just being gay. Like we
no,
have
no, no.
style by
Being gay don't mean
default.
you're stylish.
Yeah,
Like
you're right. Mike
I
Sugarman keeps coats under the bed.
yeah, but he wears them too. Mike's got good
Jury's out.
style.
Jury's out. Jury's out.
Like he wears like button downs, like tucked in. Like I don't tuck in clothes.
Michael Sugarman buys clothes to wear once and then put into a memory box for the wall.
Yeah, that's true. So
Michael
anyway,
Sugarman. Shout out Michael Sugarman.
So I like to wear t-shirts. That's like my fancy clothes, right? Like a good t-shirt with a nice pair of jeans and a pair of white Nike Uptowns, right?
And thank God for your gay friend who taught you how to layer this week.
Well, so actually, speaking of, I'm wearing my best jeans now, and I'm wearing them right now, and I got hot sauce on them today, and I'm actually a little worried if the hot sauce is going to come off. I got to wash them.
Yeah, it'll come off.
I got it on at work. Then I tried rubbing it out in the bathroom,
with
rubbing
what?
the hot sauce out. I used a paper towel, school paper towel, and water, and I was just vigorously rubbing. And then I went out, and of course, it left like that rub stain. And the kid's like, "Yo, that's gross." And I'm like, "I agree." But anyway, so this weekend I went to the mall to buy clothes because I am going to be going to LA for the premiere of the show. And while I was in the mall, I was sending Melissa
on Netflix if you haven't watched yet,
and Joe pictures of me in all dressing rooms. So I would just like put clothes on and then send a picture of it to them. And usually they would make fun of me and tell me it wasn't nice. Anyway, so while I was there, Melissa's like, "Oh, you're going to be shopping all day." Because remember, I don't use Amazon.
Yeah.
So because I don't use Amazon, I couldn't order these things online. I had to physically go into the store. So while I was there, I was like, you know what? I've been shopping like for 3 hours. Let me buy Melissa something. So I went in the Bed Bath & Beyond, right? And I went in and I was like, let me get a nice candle because Melissa likes candles. So I said to the girl, this is great. I go, "Do you have soy-based candles?"
Oh, good.
Because my wife only uses soy-based candles. So the lady goes, "Oh, we do." I said, "Are you sure?" She goes, "I am sure because I own this store. I just bought it and big things are coming for me this year." And I was like, "Yo, good for you. All right.
Yeah,
you are
great
fucking
for you.
proud."
What was the store?
Bed Bath & Beyond, Bed Bath & Body Works or whatever. And
Bath
Beyond.
and Body Works? Bed Bath & Beyond is actually out of business.
Okay, Bed Bath & Body Works.
So you're now confusing two stores.
Bed Bath and Works. Bed and Body Works.
Bath and Body Works.
No, Bed and Body Works is the name of the store. No. Oh, Bath. Bath and Body Works.
How are you going to tell me about this?
I'm reading it.
Well, if you're reading it, then you need your teaching license revoked.
So fucking body work. I went. So she was like, I'm fucking proud. I'm like, good for you. So I bought this candle. It smells like my cologne. So I thought Melissa would like that. But apparently she hates my cologne. Also, I don't wear cologne. It just smells like my body scent. And she was like, "Why'd you buy a cologne that smells like you? You should have bought something
like ass
that smells like vanilla or caramel or lavender." She's like, "You got something called driftwood." She's like, "Who exactly is that for?" So I was like, "It smells freaking delicious." So, and then I got her this candle I thought she would like called Island Margarita.
Yeah.
It was 2 candles for $20. This smells delicious, but also she told me it smells delicious.
So he lights it.
It smells good. I'm lighting it. I want it. I took them. I said, "I'll put these down in my office."
Candles in my studio too. This one is Coastal Aromatherapy Dune Grass. This one's great.
How do they even come up with the smell? It's like citrus sun. Like, what does the sun smell like?
Exactly. Why the hell are we naming scents things that you see? This one is called, this one you probably could smell. Dune grass. That one you could probably smell. This one's called mermaid hair. Bitch.
Yeah, but that probably has like a hard smell. Like I know when I like bathe my daughter, like her hair, that wet hair smell. But it doesn't smell like, I wouldn't put it in a candle.
Damn, I don't have my lighter down here.
Dude, this just smells so good. Island Margarita.
Dude, I almost burned down the house the other day.
Well, that's why I
Scary.
don't like candles.
Morgan tells me I'm not allowed to light candles when I'm home alone anymore.
Candles scare the shit out of me.
Candles scare the shit out of me too. So does sleeping when I have a cigarette in my hand. God, it's the worst.
Do you sleep with cigarettes in your hands?
No,
Oh.
no, but like old people, they used to die all the time because they would smoke and fall asleep and then their house would burn down.
Yeah. All right. So I found this thing on the internet. It's the biggest sign that someone sucks. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a competition. We're not going to necessarily do the competition. We're just going to talk about these things and we'll rank them in our own way. We'll make no ranking system. We're just going to talk about it. So they have number 1, which I agree with, being shitty to service workers.
Can't handle it. Oh, number 1. Oh, I'll never forget. When I was before I signed with my managers and my agent, this company wanted to sign me for touring, right? First of all, the one thing I didn't like about them is they were very much infatuated with the fact that I was a Title I teacher. And I was like, what? And they're like, this is going to be great. We're going to market this as like this Title I teacher now seeking fame and did all this good stuff for his poor students and shit.
Yeah,
and I was like, no. I was like, the fact that those kids went to a Title I school is, first of all, admirable. And second of all, fuck you for trying to capitalize on their experience. That was fucked up. And then second of all, he was beyond nasty to the server. And I believe at one point he called him a cockhead. And I was like, I'm out. And I just left.
He had you on a business meeting and he was nasty to a server?
Insane, right? Almost like it was some bizarre flex. I was like,
Well, that's what I was going to say. Do you think he thought it was like, let's show these people that they're peons?
And then after I said no, I talked to other people who worked with them and they were like, run for the hills. Yeah.
Tell him to call me. I'm just kidding. This candle is literally choking me to death.
You just lit it. You're supposed to light a candle for 4 hours. If you're going to light it, it has to burn for at least 4 hours.
For what?
Gaspare, it's choking you to death because you're waving it around. The more you do that, the more oxygen you're getting on the wicks, the smokier they're going to get. You look like you're fucking saging the room to like get the spirits out.
Oh my God, it smells so good now. It smells like Island Margarita.
With a little bit of smoke.
So, all right. So one time when I was in Applebee's, right?
You were fucking nut job.
When I was at
Can
Applebee's.
I just say this about the people too? Gaspar and I were talking about this before we started recording, you guys. I haven't watched The Trust yet. But could you imagine if Gaspar and I were on that shit together and just the bullshit we would pull? People would look at us and be like, are these two missing brain cells?
I think they did that with me a few times.
That's awesome.
Well, we'll see. I don't know if it'll show. But, it's funny. So we're having a premiere party this Wednesday and for the show. And someone was like, texted Melissa and was like, what kind of alcohol does Gaspar like? And she's like, he doesn't drink. And they're like, oh, so what should we get him? She's like, you don't have to get him anything. And she's like, well, I'll just get him an Applebee's gift card. I was like, fuck yeah. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's way better than a bottle. I'll feed my whole family buffalo wings. Also, on top of it, Applebee's has $14.99 all-you-can-eat buffalo wings. They serve them to you like 6 at a time, but they underestimated how many I can eat. The minute the plate gets in front of me, I order another one. I'm like, just put it on. I don't care. I ate, I would say 6, 12, 18, 24. I had about 30 boneless wings for $15. Wild. It's 50 cents a wing. That's like 1998 prices.
That is 1998 prices.
Anyway, one time when I was at Applebee's, this guy, he's sitting there and he ordered a steak. I get the steak, whatever. You ordered a fucking steak at Applebee's. Like, are you expecting like, Peter Luger? Right. Do you know what Peter Luger's is? I just realized. Mm-mm. Peter Luger's is like the most famous steakhouse in New York. It's called Peter Luger.
And
it's like,
chain?
No, it's not a chain. It's it's like real deal, like probably the best steak. Super expensive.
In Manhattan?
Like, it's in Brooklyn. Cash only.
Of course.
You sell 500 steaks, you sold 10. So
got you.
I don't know, whatever. I don't know if it's cash only anymore.
I already know what you're saying.
So
yeah.
At work today, I was trying to explain to everybody how I don't use credit cards, and no one could understand it. And they're like, "You just walked around the mall with cash And I'm like, yeah. They're like, what'd you buy? And I'm like, whatever I wanted. I just paid in cash. This way there's no trace. And they're like, no trace of what? That you were in H&M? They were like, why do you care? And then, but I do have a credit card that I use for like airport, air
Drugs.
stuff,
Oh,
airline
yep.
stuff.
Yes.
But that's it. Like I don't put anything else on there. And then everything else is like cash pretty much, you
You
know?
are so
Or
old school, I
checks,
swear to
checks.
God. Why don't you just buy a pinstripe suit and start smoking a cigar and light your house by candle wax?
I have my checkbook right next to me. Look at this, Joe. It's
Insane.
literally right next to me because I wrote a check this morning.
Ugh,
I go
you're
to the
crazy,
bank.
man.
I get stamps. I mean, from the post office, I buy stamps.
What's the second way of being a shittiest person?
Oh, yeah. So, all right. When someone doesn't pay you back in a timely manner, I
Hmm.
don't know if I would make that like the shitty. It depends what are we defining as timely?
Yeah.
Because I'm the type, like, you know me, like as soon as if we're like splitting something, I'm like right away, like, what do I owe you? Let me give you the money. You know what I mean? Because I don't like letting money sit, you know?
Yeah, me too, which is why that one thing was bugging the hell out of me.
Agreed. And I don't like when money sits, and I don't like when people are like waiting for me to like give them the money. And then because like then things happen, you forget. So like I completely get that. That's why like you try to hit them with cash right away.
Yeah, get the money up front. I agree with you. I think this one is subjective to the individual and their situation.
Agreed.
And also it has to do with the individual and like your willingness to advocate for yourself. And if whenever you're starting to feel like someone owes you money, ask them. Say, hey, did you by chance, or is there a time you can get me
Yeah, see, but
that,
money's so hard. Money's like,
but if you don't advocate for yourself, one, you're giving them an opportunity to bamboozle you. And two, you're saying by default, don't worry about it. So if you are worried about it, you have to say something.
agreed. Did you
And if
ever
they're
see?
having an issue, then it's also on them to be like, yo, I'm sorry. I know I owe you this money. I'm just trying to tighten some shit up. I'll get it to you and give a definitive date.
Did you ever see? Well, two things. One, sometimes like if we all split something at work, like we bought a new refrigerator, right? And like the guy laid out all the money, and then everybody owed him $20 for the fridge.
Okay.
And like some people didn't pay. So I made it like a point in front of everybody. I was like, oh, Joe, you got the money, right? I sent you the money. You got my money that I sent you through Venmo. And this way, it like kind of reminded everybody, oh shit, I got to send the money. Cause I felt bad because the guy was like, yo, nobody's fucking paying me for this fucking refrigerator. And he's like walking around with
I
the
would have
list.
straight up stood in front of everyone. I've been like, yo, if I say your name, come here.
Well, he was like walking around with the list. Like he was like, hey, and they were like, tomorrow, I'll get you later. And it's like, in today's world, everybody has Venmo or PayPal or something. You could have Venmoed. I will say, you ever see Bronx Tale?
A long time ago.
So in Bronx Tale, the guy owes him $20, right? So he sees the guy, and the guy sees him in like, he knows that he owes him $20. So Colodjo's like, oh, yo, get me my $20. And the guy he crosses the street and starts running, and Colodjo chases him. And Sonny grabs him and he goes, why are you chasing this guy? And he's like, he owes me $20. He goes, do you like the guy? He goes, no. He goes, so for $20, you just got rid of that guy. You never got to see that guy again because he will do everything in his power to avoid you because he owes you money.
Oh,
You know?
I love that.
So he's like, now you don't have to ever worry about him again for
Great.
$20. He goes, that's cheap.
That's awesome. That is awesome. That is
Did you,
good.
you've seen Bronx Tale, right?
A long time ago. Isn't like Leonardo DiCaprio in it or whatever?
No, Chaz Palminteri.
And it's set in like the beginning of New York, right?
Not the beginning. It's like 1960s. I'm gonna say it takes place it's Chaz Palminteri, Robert De Niro.
Oh,
that's who you're thinking of. A coming-of-age Italian-American boy who encounters a local mafia boss is torn between the temptation of organized crime and his family. It's supposed to take place. I'm just trying to see when it was supposed to take place. 1960. Yeah. Because I know people whose lives were very similar to that because it took place in Brooklyn at that time period. You know what I mean? Where that was like very much a thing. Like there's the presence of those individuals, and then there's the Italian American classic family trying to do the right thing.
Right.
But Colugio, the main character, Lelio Bronchio, whatever his name is, he became like a massive heroin addict, and he got arrested in the Bronx or Brooklyn for
just read this.
for breaking into somebody's house. But he's
Yeah.
supposedly been clean now for a while.
Yeah, shit, that sucks.
But he like went down like a real rough.
Anyway, what's the
All
next thing?
When someone doesn't like sports, signs that someone sucks. A little.
Really?
No, I don't. I mean, I find it. I'm such a sports fan that I find it crazy when someone doesn't, but I get it and I respect it. But like, sports are just such common ground. Like, I'm like, oh, like if I walk into
we have
a room,
nothing to talk about. Let's talk about this, right?
Yes, like if I walk into a room and I'm like, and I don't know anybody, I'm like, damn, crazy games this weekend, and like everyone's heads will turn, everyone will start talking about football. You know,
Really?
100%. Yeah.
Wow.
But like, keep in mind, my circle it's like dads at like kids' birthday parties, you know?
Yeah.
Like maybe not if I'm in like a comedy club, I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But I probably would.
Yeah, you probably would.
I'd probably just say whatever the hell I feel like saying.
I don't hate sports.
No, I know.
I just know nothing about it. But if someone was like, do you want, like, I'll go to games and like very much enjoy myself. It's just not my preferred.
Yeah. And listen, and I wouldn't watch
RuPaul's Drag Race.
I mean, I didn't want to say that, but I wouldn't watch British Bake Off, you know?
I should have just let you squirm. Gaspare.
I watched last night. Holy crap. We didn't finish it, and we probably won't now because we're filming this and then the show comes out. But we watched this new cult documentary on Hulu. It's about this guy named Orville.
See, this is the thing. You walk into a group of people and you say, damn, the game was crazy. And I walk into a group of people and say, have anyone watched any good cult documentaries lately?
All right. I don't want to ruin anything, but it's about this Mormon sect. His name was Orville Lebronin. It's called they nicknamed him the Mormon Manson.
Weird. Yeah, weird.
He was a murderous white supremacist and religious fundamentalist. Okay?
Yeah.
He has a new show out called The Daughters of the Cult. It's on Hulu. You would really like it. It's like literally, it's called Daughters of the Cult. We only watched the first episode. This guy and his brother go create, they create this sect of Mormonism, right?
Yeah.
And the brother is like, yo, I'm the main guy here. I'm the prophet, right? Everything's all good. Everyone will follow me. And Orville is like, sounds good. You're the best. And then all of a sudden, like Orville starts like getting like prophecies. He's like, oh, it's me. It's actually me. I'm the prophet. And his brother's like, no, you're not. And he's like, I'm the prophet. So they have like a divide in their compound. And like half the followers go with him and the other half stay with the brother. And then I won't tell you why, but he's nicknamed the Mormon Manson, as in Charles Manson. And you just got to check it out and see what this guy did. But he had like 89 children. And what's crazy about the religion of Mormonism in general, this like what's the one where you marry multiple wives?
Polyamorous, I think.
Polyamorous sect is like, he's like, hey, I interpreted the Bible. Men should marry as many women as possible. Doesn't matter the age. Just like we should marry as many women as possible. And they move the cult down to Mexico because there's less laws with, polyamorous relationships. And he's like, because I can get you all pregnant. You can't have many husbands, because you can only get pregnant once. But like, he was like, I'll have 30 wives and just impregnate them all and create like an army of children.
I can't wait to watch it.
It's good. Daughters of the Cult. Very interesting.
Speaking of cult, you guys, there's a situation happening right now on Instagram that I was talking to Gaspare about before we got on. Okay. No, not the vote.
Oh.
There was this radical, I'll say this. There was this radical Christian popping off on the internet. So I made a video about it because essentially this person just said, when you're experiencing illness, you just say, "No, devil, go away, devil." And that's because she said that illness is just the devil coming into you. So you just got to tell him to go away. And I'm like, no. Like, first of all, you can't be fucking saying shit like that because people are going to take you seriously. And then they're going to die of cancer because they thought that you could just say, "No, devil, go away, devil," and shit like that. So I made a video, popped up, and then this crazy chimed in, obviously, and was like, "Love your..." I'll actually read it to you verbatim. "Wow, the integrity of your content strategy of tearing down others who are different from you seems a little contradictory to the inclusion movement, but sending love to you anyway, though." And then they reposted that they sent that because they were so proud of it. Then, Gaspar, then, I just have to tell you right now, this person, thank you, this person said on their Instagram story, they reposted a meme and they said, "If your significant other is an anti-vaxxer, doesn't trust anything the government says, believes in chemtrails, and loves Jesus, you've won the lottery." And then she said, "I won." And I was like, okay, she's just one of those. I get it.
What's a chemtrail?
Exactly. So then I fell down a rabbit hole just now of what's a chemtrail. Chemtrails are, it's a conspiracy theory that, you know how when a plane flies away and it's got that like, I would say condensation behind it of trail. There's a conspiracy theory, Gaspar, of people in the world who think that that trail is like biological agents being sprayed for purposes that are undisclosed to the general public.
So this lady believes that that's true?
Yes. Which made me fall down this rabbit hole of there are people that believe that.
Wait a second. They think that planes, so United is like, let's load up our chemicals for the people to be fucked in New Jersey as we cross their state. And then they're just dropping chemicals.
For
and these chemicals.
Specifically, they think it's the government.
But how's the government getting to these, well,
the government owns planes and the government could just like,
they don't own all planes.
Or they could just like fuck what fuel the plane goes with. I don't know. I'm not a chemtrail conspiracy theorist.
Where's the shit when you're in an airplane go and the pee? Into like a storage bin?
Yeah, I think so. And then they empty it when they land.
Just fucking chucks right out.
I would guess. Anyway, kind of wild, right?
So, all right. Well, that lady hit the jackpot. So good for her, honestly.
She found her chemtrails lover.
But now, like, you think that chemtrails are doing anything to you? Is that what they believe? Like, what do they think? Like, they're mutating?
Yeah. Or I think this girl specifically believes that they're like brainwashing people in the government to just like go along with everything that's happening.
Does she know that chemtrails have been happening since Orville and Wright?
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know. Kind of wild, right? And here's the thing. Listen, no shade on this girl. Like, I was super nice to her on when she sassily commented on my shit. And I actually just said to her, yeah, well, you know, you're entitled to your opinion and so am I. So, you know, carry on. We can all believe what we want to believe. If you want to believe in chemtrails and whatnot, then like, that's cool. But it's just this shit ain't for me.
All right. So this is an easy one for me. This is definitely a no. When someone doesn't say please or thank you.
Oh, terrible.
That drives me nuts.
Oh my God. I think about it all the time. Can I tell you the other one that bothers me too?
What?
When people don't turn around and like re-ask you about you, or you ask them about them. Like, you ask them a question and they go on for like forever and they never turn it back to like what's curious about like you and your life or whatever. Like, if I say something
like, how are your kids? And you're just like, good. And then you just keep walking.
Oh, yeah, good. And leave it at that. Or people who are just like, oh, they're great. And blah, 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 blah. And this is happening and all this shit. And it's so good. And everything's hunky-dory and all this shit. And then they just leave it. And you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's on the list. So
yeah, what's it say? How'd they word it?
I I mean, I guess it's the similar when people only know how to talk about themselves.
Literally.
It's the
I
same
recently
concept.
experienced someone like this, and I was literally listening to this person talk in circles about, I asked one question, and it was just like, hey, bro, it's like been 10 minutes.
Yeah. This one I like a lot. When someone will not shut up about a weird diet that they're on.
That is so specific.
But it's so true. Like, because you know that people do that. So, all right. So I have this guy I work with and I love him. He's one of my close friends. So first off,
Name him
let's just
first and
start.
last. Just kidding.
Robert.
Oh, shit.
I make fun of him all day. Like we're in a group chat right now and I'm making fun of him.
Okay.
So first off, he's 45 years old. He looks great, but he has a 28-inch waist.
Oh, I thought you were going to
28.
28-year-old wife.
But he's like 6 foot and he's like built, but his waist is so small. He does 2 hours on the Peloton before he even goes to work.
Wait,
he just wakes up.
A 20-inch ace bench. He's 6'4"?
No, he's 6 foot. He does 2 hours on the Peloton before he wakes up. So he's like,
no, not before he wakes up. Right when
I mean, before he gets ready for work. He hasn't had McDonald's. This is like a thing he talks about all the time. Bro, I haven't had McDonald's since 1996. He talks about that all the time. There's like this big joke. I'm like sometimes I'm like, I just like put carbs near him and I like smell them and I'm like, oh, well, I haven't had a carb in 13 years. And like we all say it to him, but he's like, nah, not 13 years, but at least 3 weeks. He's on a diet every day, but they're like insane. He's like, bro, I fast for like 21 hours a day.
I fucking love this guy. Keep going.
We're like, you fast for 21 hours? Like, it's like we're like blown away by him constantly because it's just insanity.
Is he married?
Like he's married, 2 kids, yeah. Like he'll eat like one piece of grilled chicken with nothing on it. Like
I
nothing.
fucking love this guy. Yeah, keep going.
He's like, he'll just eat it and he's like, good, I'm good for the day. I don't got to eat anymore. I've learned to shrink my stomach. But like, it's like, and then every day at lunch, he makes us walk. So we walk 1.5 miles at lunch every day around the building. He's like, let's go, let's walk. He puts it on this. He made a track around the building. How if we walk this track 4 times, it'll come out to 1 mile. So we do it 1.5 miles every day.
That's
with this guy.
Awesome. I fucking love Robert. Robert for president. This is great.
Today he was he had to take his son somewhere, so he wasn't at work. So during the walk, like we like sent him a picture, and I'm like, "Yo, Rob," I'm like, "We got more of a workout in than you today. Like you suck." And he sent me back his Peloton score. He was on for 4 hours because he didn't have to go to work because he had to take his son somewhere. He did 4 hours on the bike. We're like, dude,
holy shit!
He logged. What was it? I think it was 1,000 hours on the Peloton.
Wait. Also, is this healthy?
No, that's what we all keep telling him. Like, you're going to die. Like, we're like, and then he always says, Randazzo eats like shit, does whatever, and he's going to fucking live longer than me. I'm like, yeah, because I'm happy. You're miserable. I was like, you haven't had a carb in fucking 13 years.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
I love McDonald's. All right, here's another good one. I love this one.
Shout out Robert. I need to meet him.
All right. This is a good one. This I agree with too. Being weird about the check at dinner.
I have to tell you something. I have started saying fuck it about the goddamn check. And I will literally grab the check, have them put it on my credit card, and just tell everyone else just to Venmo me. Because I'm like, I can't deal with you guys. I cannot go to another dinner where people are like, I only have the 2 leaves of like organic spinach straight from your rooftop garden, and that was only $7, and the rest of you were drinking and had camel meat, so I am not gonna pay this. I'm done. We'll handle it later. Because you had 2 leaves of lettuce and we all had camel meat. Now we have to do this to this poor server. Absolutely fucking not. I don't have a problem with you wanting to pay less. I have a problem with you holding us up and making us have this weird. We'll discuss it later in the group text. Shut the fuck up.
So
oh my God. I'm so mad.
I agree.
So I just give him my credit card. I just say, hand it to me. Boom. We'll pay it later. And I get all the Sky Miles. So
yeah, but do people then think you were paying for them?
okay, I would say like if I would pull the guy and he's like looking around, I'm just like, we got this, right? Just like I'm gonna do this. But if he's like, if I am gonna pick it up, I will say I got it. It's no big deal. I got it.
Yeah.
Or if I'm not, I'll say I got it. You guys just Venmo me. We'll put it on one. Especially if they say, how are we doing this? I'll say, just put it on mine. We'll figure it out. We'll all figure it out. Cool.
No, listen. So I'll tell you both sides of the coin. As a non-drinker, what?
You and I also, if everybody functioned like us, the world would be a better place because you and I literally turn to each other and be like, yeah, fuck, like you'll get a sandwich in 3 weeks and you fill the gas tank or whatever. It's like, fine. I'm just like, thank you. It's just like evening out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I like a lot of the times, especially with my friends, like at work, like one day someone buys something, the next day someone else buys something. It's just like
whatever.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
Because it gets awkward when you're like, you owe me $2. It's like, don't Venmo me $2.
Right.
Like I that'll cost me money because they'll send me a W-9 over that. But what I was gonna say is I will say this earlier in my life, forget like my career, just in life in general. It has been, or even now, like there are shitty situations because I don't drink. So because I don't drink, there are times where I'll go out with a bunch of people and people will order 4 drinks, 5 drinks, margaritas, and then a steak. And I'm like, I ordered a chicken sandwich. You know what I mean? So my meal's $10 and everybody else's was 70. And I'm like, but I chalk it up as I'm out. And like, it sucks, don't get me wrong. And 95% of the time, someone will be like, Gaspare hasn't drank anything. He shouldn't pay the same. Like, there's always like a person who's like, of that reasoning, like, yo, you just give us $10 and we'll take care of the rest. But if it doesn't come to that and we're like, oh, split the bill even, I'm never going to be like, I only got this because I just hate that.
Yeah.
So I just chalk it up as like, you know what? I chose to go out tonight. And when you choose to go out, you're choosing to spend money. And unfortunately, like now I have to spend $75. And like if I didn't have $75, if I didn't have $75 to spend, I shouldn't have went out, period. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm in the same boat too. Like I don't always drink when I go out. And I've definitely been in groups of people who are drinking and I'm not. And I, like you, just suck it up and pay. I think one of the easiest ways I've ever seen this done is someone turned to the server and they're like, yo, can you just divide dinner and drinks? 2 checks, dinner, drinks. We'll pay them, but divide them dinner and drinks. I
didn't even know that was an option.
Yep. And then we would just be like, this, pay all these cards and then this, or we'd just be like, this one's dinner, this one's drinks, or figure it out.
Or you know what I hate? Like, I'd be mortified if people ask for separate checks.
Oh, I always am when people ask for separate checks. I'm like, don't do this.
Because number one, the waiter is like gonna fucking take the check and rub it between their ass cheeks before handing it to you. Because
hopefully.
I remember working at Applebee's, that was literally the bane of existence when someone wanted separate checks. Because what would happen is like 10 kids, like 13-year-olds would come in, they'd all order a basket of fries and a Coke each. And it would be like, separate checks, please. And each check would be like $4.25. And then they'd be like, oh, I'll leave a quarter tip, you know? And then you get like $2 a tip. It's just like, you know, because someone told them you should tip, but never gave them an amount. So it's like, they think like a quarter on the table is a tip.
Hilarious. What's the next one?
This one's weird. Wearing white sunglasses.
I mean, I get it, but it doesn't bother me. But I do.
It doesn't bother me.
I used to date a guy who wore white sunglasses. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be like, what the fuck? Why are you wearing white sunglasses? But talking in a baby voice. Not a fan?
Did you see the video I made this week?
No.
About this shit? Can't handle it. I can't handle people who talk to their kids like little itty bitty baby nonsensical words. Like, you want some chicky nuggies? You want to go nom nom? You want to grab your stuffy? Like, shut the fuck up.
Listening. I get it. I get it. I get talking baby.
I'll hang up this call.
I get it. I don't love it. Melissa does it a lot. Well, not does it anymore, but Melissa used to do it. I don't love it, but I get it when they're like a little baby. But they say it's not good. It's like my sister, like when her daughter was young, she was just like, hello, child, here's your paper. Like, you know, and like, and she has like great vocabulary. Oh shit, I got to tell you a really funny story.
Please.
Okay, so this little boy in Lucy's class, my daughter's class, sent her a video, and he's like, Lucy, I love you so much. You're my best friend. And one day and I can't wait to marry you. Right? The mom sent this video to us. So Lucy watched the video like this. So
Why?
she goes, I don't know. She was being Lucy. She goes, I want to make a video. She goes, hi, I can't wait for you to come to my house and play. And we could play with my toys. And thank you for wanting to marry me. That's it. Not, I want to marry you. I love you. Thank you for wanting to marry you. Wait. So it's like she couldn't give him the satisfaction.
Right.
Thank you. Wait, let me see what she said. It was great. Here. Ready?
I love you, Jason. I love you. I want you to come to my house so we can both play and together with my toys and thank you for marrying me.
Thank you for marrying me. I don't know if she understands the concept.
Her little Staten Island accent is the funniest. You've got to be shitting me.
She thinks she has an accent?
Yes.
I don't hear it at all. This last one we'll do. This is a good one. People who get off on correcting others. And I agree with that.
That would be my number one.
Nuts.
That would probably be my number one, more than whenever the number one actually is.
Yeah, like that drives me nuts when people feel the need to be like, oh, let me tell you how it went. Like, I can't even tell you, but I know someone who like loves to finish other people's stories, but they weren't there, and it's your story. Like, it's like literally like, I'm like, oh, I was at the store buying these candles and I tell you the story of how it happened, right? But then you go and like, we're together and I'm like, oh, I got the candles and you cut me off and you're like, yeah. So anyway, I was telling him how to get a suit and then he went to the and it's like, dude, I'm standing right here. It's my fucking story. That drives me nuts.
Can't.
Anyway.
And I refuse.
So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this episode, hopefully all things are going great in our lives and we just weren't able to record. Or we're dead. All right. So thanks for listening to the Social Studies Podcast featuring me, Gaspare Randazzo.
And me, Joe Dombrowski. Get your tickets to my shows at joedombrowski.com.
And get them for, that wasn't English, GaspareRandazzo.com. See you guys later.
Bye.